Hey everyone, step one. Step one is choosing your podcast topic. That's right. We have to have an idea that the whole show is framed around, and it's got to come from you, nowhere else. And there's two places that we usually start. And one is our experiences. Where is it that you have experience or history that you can share that knowledge with other people? And that could be something you've learned. It could be a job you've worked in. It could be something you've read or anything that you can look into your past and say, this is something I can talk about without much research for hours and hours, because that's what's going to end up happening, right? The second thing to look at is, what are you curious about? In other words, what are the things that you are continuing to push the boundaries on in terms of learning, that you are constantly seeking out new content and new education on that topic so that you can share what you are learning on your journey with the people that are following you along the way. So those two things, what are your experiences and what are you curious about? If you can take one of those two things and start to create content around those things, you have a podcast. But let me help you take it one step further. The podcast providers out there like Apple and Spotify, as well as other companies like Amazon, have already categorized content in digestible ways that we can follow. So what I would recommend you do is go to Apple Podcasts and look at their categories. Let's do that right now. So at podcasters.apple.com, if you search even on Google for podcast Apple categories, it'll show you here are the categories that Apple has decided are relevant groupings of types of shows. So within the arts section, there's shows about books, fashion and beauty, food, performing arts. Within the business category, there's shows about entrepreneurship, investing, management, marketing. So your job is to say, within these categories like business and within these subcategories like entrepreneurship or investing, where does my show fit best? If someone had to find me in a library or find me in a Google search, what category would they think or expect that I would fall into? And that's the place you want to start. You don't have to niche down much further than that at this stage of the game. You just have to know what neighborhood you want to be playing in when creating your podcast. So just choose one that makes the most sense for you. And there's a lot of them here on Apple based on all the different categories of information. The next place, if this isn't specific enough, if you want to go a level deeper, the next place I would have you look is Amazon.com. If you go to their book section, on the left side, there's all these different types of departments, which are categories of books. You've got business and money books, education and teaching, health, fitness, and dieting. And if you click into one of these sections like health, fitness, and dieting, what you will see is there are all of these different books that are popular right now. And here's some featured categories, but also on the left again, there's subcategories within the health, fitness, and dieting space. So you can decide, is your show about men's health, or is it about nutrition? Is it about teen health? Is it about beauty, grooming, and style? Pick one of these categories and start there. Because once you've done that, you've gone far enough to figure out what your topic should be. And guess what? Once you click that even further, there's going to be a lot of subcategories. I wouldn't go as far as to make this your niche to start with, but you can look at these subcategories to say, is this really where I fit in? Are these the types of topics that I want to talk about? And you can look to this as a place to find ideas of what your actual episodes could be about. If you're in the exercise and fitness category, you can have some episodes about ab workouts, some episodes about aerobics, some episodes about injuries and rehabilitation, and keep going from there. This is how I want you to think about your content, is in a categoric way that is going to help other people understand what your show is about. At the end of the day, if you can't explain what your show is about to other people, neither can they. And that's what you want, so they can tell other people what they're listening to and why they should listen.